The combination of GitHub Copilot and Fabric skills are amazing. There are fantastic things you can do. As you can see here, I can ask, give me a list of workspaces that I have in my Fabric tenant that are empty, and this can run the analysis. It does use Fabric REST APIs, but the fact is that you don't have to know how to use those APIs. This is the part that Fabric skills are aware of and goes and analyze it and find out what is the best API to call when it wants to capture those informations. And once it finds it, it gives you responses like this. For example, it tells me that out of 28 workspaces that I'm the admin, 3 of them are empty. It also authenticates with your account. Now I ask that give me the list of Power BI reports that I have under all my workspaces, categorize this list by year, month in a descending order. So it have to actually scan all my workspaces to find Power BI reports. And for that, it again goes and find which API it should call. It goes through a bit of process, and as you can see, it also tells me that Fabric Items API doesn't return creation dates, so it is trying to use Power BI REST API, for example. This is the part that Fabric skills are helpful, because it provided the list of all APIs that it can use, and it goes and find out which one is the best to use. It takes a little bit of time, but if we move fast forward, it says again, standard API doesn't return creation date. It is using Power BI Scanner API, which is like an admin API we can use to scan and analyze what we have in our Power BI service. And it generates the script for that. And as you can see, it returned the result really nicely here for me, grouped by the year, month in a descending order. It tells me some of the reports that I have, how many reports. For example, in 11th November of 2025, I have like 21 reports in different workspaces. And it builds it really nicely. Now I can go ahead and write this another prompt saying that, well, give me the list of 2021 and earlier reports in a detailed view, which again just produced that result really nicely, and it gives me which workspace each report is based on, what date and time this has been created. And it's a really nice way of analyzing that without really opening your Power BI service environment. And even if you open your Power BI service environment, getting this information is not that simple. You have to move around between workspaces, whereas here you just ask the prompt and get the response. Now, as the last one, I'm asking that connect to the RD report that I have in public workspace, public report workspace, and give me full documentation of both the semantic model and the report in a MD format, markdown format, or docx file. Let's see which one this provides better. So it goes again and try to find what are the best APIs, best tools to use. Fabric skills is definitely necessary to do this, to get the best output for this. And once it is done with what the script it should use, again, fast forward a little bit further, this is the documentation, the report pages, and the semantic model, which if I go and open that markdown file, you can see that this is a really nice explanation about all parts of this, the semantic model itself, the date that this has been created, does it has RLS or not, the report itself, the tables, the Power Query script that generated the tables, the data sources, the way that the data comes in here, the refresh schedule, and also everything in terms of like what are their IDs and everything like that. And I created this without any external tool. This was all with GitHub Copilot and Fabric skills. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can achieve the same thing very simply. My name is Reza Rad from Radacat. Let's jump into how to do this in this video. Well, as you saw, the combination of GitHub Copilot and Fabric skills are amazing. But what is happening, how you can actually achieve this? So all these LLMs, Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, they have ways that you can write codes, and we usually use different elements of that. For example, if you are using Claude, you could use Claude Code. If you are using Copilot, you could use GitHub Copilot, which is the component of that Copilot which enables you to write codes using prompts, which we call it vibe coding. Now, in order to use this, you need an environment. Usually we use an environment which is open source. It is available for anyone to use. This is called VS Code or Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is a free environment for developing the code, not necessarily for AI, for anything. And again, not necessarily for Microsoft related technologies. If you want to write Python code, VS Code is good for that. If you want to go and write C# code, it is good for that. No matter what language you are going to use, VS Code is the most common used tool in the market to write your programming code. So for this, to get this working, to get this set up, I'm going to show you how this works. First, you need to go and get the VS Code. VS Code, open source development tool. You can download it. Once you have this downloaded, then you will need Fabric skills. But there is one other thing that you could use in addition to this. So VS Code gives you the development environment, which is like what you see over here. This is the view of VS Code. Here I can start my project. In the left-hand side, I have files, extensions, and it also has like a chat window. But in order to use AI in this environment really nicely, I would recommend two things. First, you would definitely need to have GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is a version of Copilot that helps you to write your agentic code. It comes with different plans. You can get GitHub Copilot free, and there are other options for that as well. But you could even use the free version. There are other versions for this that you can use. This is not a licensing video, so I don't go on that side. So build an account here, use that. Then the next thing I would recommend, in addition to GitHub Copilot, GitHub Copilot is definitely needed when you want to send prompts, and it would be connected to your VS Code. So here you can see that in my VS Code, if I say try out this chat window, this would be the place that I would go and write my prompts right over here. Right. This would be my prompt window, and it connects to my GitHub Copilot account. But one other thing that could be helpful is GitHub Copilot CLI. CLI is command line way of interacting with a tool. A lot of different tools has their CLI options these days. For example, Fabric itself has a CLI. GitHub Copilot CLI will give you some command line tools that you can interact with it, send the commands. Why this is helpful? Because some of the extension you want to install, there is a GitHub Copilot CLI command for it. And when you have this installed, you can run that command really nicely. Installing this is also simple. Again, don't worry about the pricing of this. This is part of whatever GitHub Copilot you are using. So just download this, install it, and then the last part would be the Fabric skills. Fabric skills is a GitHub library provided by Microsoft. It is part of the bigger Microsoft area for skills. Now let's back up for a second and talk about what is the skills. Talking about agentic development, there are different aspects of agentic development. First, you have that LLM, Claude, ChatGPT, Copilot that you send prompt and it gives you responses. Now that LLM just gives you a response. For example, if I want to build Power BI model and things like that, it gives you information. It does not go and build it for you. Then you will need a few other things to get this working. If you want this to go and connect to those tools and build some of these for you, usually you need something called MCP server, like the video that I previously explained about what is Power BI modeling MCP server. It's a set of APIs that gives the ability to GitHub Copilot or other LLMs to connect to your semantic model and then go and do your modeling. So this gives the hand of LLM. Then that AI can go and actually build something for you. There is also something else called skills. Skills is a set of instruction, which is really important, a set of instructions that you provide to that LLMs. In these instructions, you can have like a standards way of working with your files, some documentations, some information about what APIs to use, some guardrails. For example, don't go and fetch everything from this database, only get, for example, the top 100 first, things like that. These set of instructions, everyone can go and build it. You can go and build a skill to go and work with Fabric. But one of the good things is that Microsoft team, the Fabric team themselves, they actually provided this set of skills, which is nice. In that set of skills, which they have published in this GitHub repository, you can see here, they have skills for everything. They have skills, for example, for data flow consumption, for data flow authoring. If I go there, if I look at this MD file, which is the skills files, it explains like all the different articles and the references. These are good and helpful for the LLMs to go and find some information. It talks about all of these aspects. It talks about how to use variables, connections, best practices, what are things you should do, what are things you have to avoid. These are, of course, for that AI and LLM to go and use, really important. Now, you could, of course, go and build this skill file yourself, but Microsoft team did that for you, so you can actually go and use it really nicely. And you see this has skills for activator, data flow, for Power BI authoring, consumption, for warehouse, even for migration. There are tons of skills. At the time of recording this, we have like 23 skills here. So this is available for you to use for free. The way that you can install it is also mentioned down below here. And you can see it's a simple command that you can run here. And this command will install that for you. These two commands will install that for you. And for that, you will need GitHub Copilot CLI, which is why I explained first to install GitHub Copilot CLI, then go and run this command. Once you run this command, and you can even run this command in your GitHub Copilot prompt, you don't have to go and find where the terminal is and run it. You can just run it in the prompt. It will go and find where to run it. And once you run this, it will install all of those, which is like what you see here in my environment. So when I go to this extension section, in my VS Code, you see that in this section I have Fabric skills installed. And you can actually at the same time see that I also have like a skills for Microsoft event, which is for conferences that Microsoft runs, such as Microsoft Build. But let's put that aside for now. This is my Fabric skill installed. When I click on it, it gives me some information about it. I can even disable it as well, like for example, if you don't want to go and use it. But that is how easy it is to install. This skills now is included in your VS Code when you ask prompts from GitHub Copilot. So for example, I can say connect to my Power BI tenant and give me list of workspaces that, or let's say give me list of, yeah, why not, workspaces that are under my tenant. So first it has to do authentication. Now, because I have done this authentication in the past, it may not ask me to do the authentication, but it will ask you if it is the first time asking this, and then it will go and scan that. Which API does it use to scan? These are all the information that comes from those skills, which is really helpful. So once it has all of those information in that skills, it will provide that information for you. You can actually see that it is reading the skills. As I'm explaining to you, it finds what is the right API to get that information. Once it knows that, then it writes that script, which might be a command line script, and provide the result and give you that output. It tells me that, can I run this command? You can allow all the commands, or you can just allow this particular command. This is up to you. One point I have to mention about use of AI LLMs, especially those that you do agentic development with it, is that start with the least privilege and start with workspaces that are your test workspace, not your production workspace, because things might happen. It might run a code that would delete something or edit something. In my case, I'm just listing the option. So it wouldn't be a big problem for my side, but make sure that you have enough guardrails so that you don't give full power to this agent, because this can do everything. This can delete a workspace, this can move content from one workspace to another workspace if you tell it to do so. And the fact that this is AI doesn't mean that it is super smart. You have to consider it like a junior colleague, that it will do the actions, but it may not know how bad some of those actions might affect deleting something from production environment. Anyway, putting that aside, fast forwarding here, and here you can see that it gives me the list of workspaces that I have. Now I can go ahead and run other commands that you have seen I had right before this. At the start of this video, I showed you how some of these commands works, such as, for example, give me a list of Power BI reports in this workspace, and give me some details, organize and categorize it by year, month of modification, year, month of creation. Only the fact is that, like, whatever prompt you are providing, just make sure that you have enough backups just in case something goes wrong. So in my prompts, I did all the read-only stuff. I just got the list. At the end, I said, go and produce a documentation for this, which was a really nice document out of my Power BI report. Now, this could be converted to an application that you run every day, and it produces that documentation for you. So your Power BI administration, your Fabric administration, done in a really nice and easy way. And this is only one of the things you can do with this Fabric skills. You could go and write your entire medallion architecture using prompts. You go and write a deployment pipeline coding using this that connects to this workspace. Consider this as dev, the next one as test, change the connections while moving the content, a lot of these things. But good point and important point is that always have backups of your environment before doing this. Always test it with test workspaces, test content first, and then go into production, because you want to make sure that everything works perfectly fine. So this was the video that I wanted to show you what are the way that you can use Fabric skills in combination with GitHub Copilot. You could use the same thing with Claude or with other agentic AI development tools. This was specifically for this subject. I hope it helped you in your agentic development, especially with Power BI and Microsoft Fabric. My name is Reza Rad. We do videos about Power BI and Microsoft Fabric and AI areas related to this on a weekly basis. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube videos. Until the next video, bye.